So the first card you have for your past is the Hierophant. I'm just sensing that there's something quite maybe conservative in your past. So it could be that you're brought up in a more religious way than the way that you're living your life now, or it could be that people around you when you were growing up had some sort of maybe rigid or conservative views or something like that, and you've separated yourself from those views or that way of life. And yes, your way of life is very different now, is what I'm seeing. And you feel fine that you have a different way of life. You're fine with your new ways of thinking. But sometimes there's a clash between how you are now and what life was like then. So sometimes maybe you see your family, or maybe you see these people that you used to know, and they come and talk to you and tell you their views. And the way you think and the way you feel really clashes with those points of view at the moment. So yeah, there is some sort of you do get a bit emotional about that sometimes when you come across that clash. And maybe some people, sometimes they don't approve of the way you live your life now, or parts of your life, or something like that. So yes, at this time in your past, you were just reminded of this difference in some way. Maybe you were talking to someone from your past, or something like that was happening at that time. So the next card you have your past is the Hermit. So yes, for people in a relationship, I'm just seeing that you could be letting some of your past relationship issues impact on the one you're on now, or the one you're in now. And this is just about how you were feeling. So what I'm seeing is you weren't around your partner emotionally at this time. Your head wasn't in the right place with them. So maybe you're physically there, but you actually weren't mentally, or something like that. Maybe you were you were just removed emotionally from this relationship for some reason. You had a lot going on, and this, maybe your partner was seeing you as the Hermit at this time, not around them, not available, just not there, closed off and by yourself. And I'm seeing that at this time you're probably reflecting on the past, and maybe you just weren't emotionally available toward your partner at this time. And maybe you're even talking to your ex at this time, but this is for practical reasons. I'm not saying that you wanted to get back together with your ex, or you were seeing them, or there was a third party or anything like that. But I am seeing that maybe you had to talk to them for some practical reasons, and maybe this was bothering your partner as well. They felt that maybe you weren't around them because you wanted to be by yourself, but then you were spending time with this other person. So yes, I am seeing that you weren't going to go back to your ex. It wasn't that kind of situation. But yes, your partner was feeling that you weren't available to them at this time. You were like the Hermit to them. So the last card you have for your past is the Knight of Wands. So you could have been in a new place at this time, or maybe you were seeing something new that really inspired you. So maybe you had to travel, or maybe you had to go to somewhere new for the day or for an afternoon or something, and you were around a whole lot of things that were really inspiring to you. And yes, I'm seeing that your partner, also I'm seeing that your partner could have become very upset easily. So maybe it was because they're still feeling what was going on in the Hermit. But maybe they're a little bit touchy. Maybe you tried to talk to them, and then they're a little bit, standoffish or touchy. And it's because they were feeling that you weren't available to them. It's this Hermit coming out again. I'm seeing that again, coming out quite clearly, sorry. Yes, the first card you have your present is Judgment. So there's someone around you, and this could be maybe a friend, but it's someone who you really used to like when you first started spending time with this person. And you liked them, it was ongoing, you liked them for a while, but then, they changed, something happened. Maybe they started messing you around, or they were doing things to bother you and showing you that they weren't really respecting you properly. Maybe they weren't calling when they said they would, maybe they weren't, something like that. Maybe they said, oh, I'll meet you at this time, and then they didn't. But they were doing these things that really weren't respecting your time and respecting you. And you feel really different around them, or different about this person than you used to. And what I'm seeing is that maybe they're not making an effort with you, and then you're deciding that you're going to do the same. So you're going to say, okay, well, they haven't spoken to me, they haven't bothered with me, they're off with me or whatever. So I'm just not going to bother with them, and we'll see how they go. If they make the effort, I might get back to them. I don't know yet, but I'm not going to make the effort myself. I'm going to judge them or deal with them in the way that they have dealt with me. So it's this balance in the judgment card. It's like evening up the scales. They've done something to you, you're going to do the same. You're not going to treat them badly, but you're just going to not put any effort in and see what happens. That's what I'm seeing there. So the next card you have, your present, is the Five of Pentacles. So yes, even though you're not showing it with this person, you're not making an effort with them, you're just going to kind of ignore them for a while. You really do feel hurt by this. You feel that this person's really pushed you aside and they've been ignoring you, or they are ignoring you. But you're not letting this show. Again, I'm seeing that you're more upset than you're letting on. So you're just going quiet with this person and you're just going to see what happens. Again, I'm seeing that. The last card you have, your present, is the Four of Cups. So you're coming into a time where you're just feeling a little bit tired and a bit demotivated, and maybe it is to do with this friend in the Judgment card, but I think you're generally a little bit like this at this time. Yes, I don't like being like this. I've felt like this myself. Just be careful, because I'm actually seeing there could be something important that you need to be taking care of, that you're ignoring. And maybe you don't mean to ignore this thing. Your head's just all over the place in all these other things. And these are practical things you need to take care of. Maybe it's paperwork, maybe it's something like that. Maybe you've forgotten to pay a bill, maybe it's something that's going to catch up with you. Maybe you have to pay a fine. It's something like that that's going to catch up with you if you forget. And you don't mean to ignore this thing, but just, if this resonates, just think about what this might be, what you might be forgetting. Yes, that's what I'm seeing there. So the first card you have for your future is the Seven of Wands. So yes, you're coming into a time where you're under a bit of pressure at work, and you're going to have to negotiate something and try and make someone else see your side. So maybe it's something that, I keep on seeing payments as well. I'm seeing that somebody may have paid you late, or someone hasn't kept up with their side of what they've promised, and you want them to honor what they've promised. It's something like that, or there's some contract that someone has said they're going to honor and they haven't. But I am seeing payment around this. I'm seeing that this is to do with payment, even though there's no pentacles here. I'm seeing that this is some sort of battle to do with some contract or something like that, or some promise that someone's made. And I am seeing that you're expressing yourself, and you will express this really well, and you will get a good outcome from this, but it might take some time. This person's a bit slow at giving you what you want. It's going to be stressful, but this negotiation is going to help you kind of, this sounds horrible, it's going to make you want to snap out of your kind of demotivation, I should say, in your tiredness. So you're going to snap out of it, because you're going to have to deal with this thing and negotiate with this thing. So you're going to become a lot more alert now, and you're just going to be more, you're going to be expressing yourself. That's what I'm seeing there. So I don't mean to be rude about that, I'm sorry. Yes, the next card you have for your future is Justice. So for people in a relationship, I'm just seeing that you're trying to treat your partner fairly. You know that you haven't been giving them the attention that they want or they need. And you're trying to treat this person fairly. You're trying to come and talk to this person and give them lots of attention, lots of time. Yes, this is reflecting on the Hermit. But you still have a lot of other things on your mind, and so much else going on. You have lots of these little stresses all over your life. And, you're still going to be thinking about so many other things. So this is like, yes, you're just trying to balance all these things up. You're just trying to balance everything up with the Justice card. It's kind of balancing this with this and balancing this with that. And sorry, I'm not expressing this very well, but you're trying to give headspace to everything else that's been going on in your mind, as well as giving the time and the attention to your partner. And just be careful you're not spreading yourself a bit too thin as well. That's what I'm seeing there. So yes, the last card you have for your future is the Nine of Wands. So yes, you're still standing. You've had so much stress going on in your life, but you're still standing. You've been through this battle and you're still standing. That's what I'm seeing. You're a survivor. You've survived. You've been through so much. And yes, this hasn't kept you down. And I'm seeing that there could also be some opportunity coming up in your future. And maybe you know this is coming. And this opportunity might put an end to some of your problems. Like maybe you've had some financial problems. Maybe you've had problems in your work. Maybe you've had lots of stresses going on. This thing that comes up might be something that solves all of these things. Not every single thing, but it might make things a lot less stressful for you in your future. It's not something you're going to be have to be on alert for. This is something that I think you're sensing is coming. You know that it's coming. You'll be able to just walk into this. You've survived all of this horrible stuff. You've survived, difficulties with your ex, with your partner, with your work, with all sorts of things, being a little bit down and depressed, negotiating things, everything else. You've been through all that. You've come to the end. You've fought your battle. You're surviving, and this thing is coming. So you've been through a time in love, actually, where you're just having to show someone or tell them how you wanted to be treated because they weren't treating you in the way that you wanted. You wanted to, you were trying to show them how to be more caring and more thoughtful to you. And, this could be your partner, actually. Probably is. I'm sensing it is. And yes, they love you and they do care about you. I am seeing that. And, I'm seeing that, they help you out in practical ways and they help you in all sorts of ways like that. But they have a harsh side. They don't show their tender side to you very often, or they weren't at this time. And you did talk to them about this. You were trying to show them or tell them that that's, not what you wanted. And, you know that they care for you, but at this time you were just talking to them about this. You're trying to, you wanted them to show it more to you. That's what I'm seeing. So yes, the next card you have your past is Temperance. And I'm just sensing you're in a situation where you refuse to budge on something. So you had your mind made up very clearly about something. You were going down this path. There was something you wanted to do. And a lot of people around you, I'm thinking specifically there were two separate people from separate parts of your lives telling you that, you shouldn't be doing this thing. You shouldn't be going forward and doing this thing, pursuing this thing. And, you refused. You refused to listen. You just did not want to meet in the middle. You didn't want to listen to anything they said. One of these people could be a family member. And they were pointing out something to you, but you were refusing to see their side. You didn't want to see anything else. And you weren't fighting, you weren't arguing or anything like that. You just were not going to change your mind. And I'm not saying you should totally change your mind, but you should definitely think about what they were saying, because they did have some valid points. And, you might, even if you don't totally change your mind, there are some things that they said that may help you, or they may be useful to you. So have a listen. Don't completely disregard or ignore what they were saying. Yes, the last card you have for your past is the Two of Pentacles. So yes, what I'm seeing here is that you did have these plans or this big idea that you were going to do. You still have this idea. But yes, some of these things were a bit unrealistic and not... They're a little bit, you're treading on someone's toes with these plans. You're doing something without really taking into account someone else's feelings as well. So it was like you had your head up in the clouds. You were up there thinking about this idea, and you weren't really thinking about how this was going to impact on some other people around you. So this family member, sorry about that drilling. I've got roadwork still going on outside. I'm trying to concentrate. Yes, so this person in the Temperance card, who's probably a family member, and they were telling you, they had these valid points to tell you, and they're trying to put your feet back on the ground. That's what I'm seeing. And with this Two of Pentacles, you were juggling all these things to try and make this thing happen. And I'm not saying you should drop all these plans, but think about what this person's saying, look at how this is impacting on a few people around you, because it's impacting negatively on people, and I think you're not seeing that, or you weren't at this time, and this is in the past. But yes, really think about it. Really think about what this person's saying, this family member was saying. Yes, so the first card you have, your present, is strength. Yes, a lot of people, yes, to a lot of people, this plan you have, or this thing you have, or you're trying to do, seems really impossible and negative. A lot of people see what you're trying to do as negative. So yes, it isn't totally impossible, and but there are elements of this that you need to rethink. And also, again, you need to think about the people around you. There are two people, specifically two people around you. They're your loved ones around you, who are going to suffer in a way if you keep up with this plan. That's what I'm seeing. I'm sorry, that sounds very serious. That's what I'm seeing. And you're a determined person. You're a determined person. And I just keep seeing this thing you're planning, and you're not considering some other people around you while you're doing this. Yes, someone's warning you. They're trying to tell you that something isn't right with what you're doing, and you're not listening. I'm sorry, this sounds harsh. That's what I'm seeing. So yes, the next card you have, your present, is the World. So yes, what you want is possible, but you need to make some changes. And if you make some changes as well, it might be fine for these other people around you. But you're just on this track. You're just going ahead on this track, and you're not looking at what's beside you and what you're doing. It's like you've got this big steamroller, and you're determined to just forge ahead no matter what's there, what's in front of you. So please be very careful. Be very careful of who you might be impacting. Think about this. Think about what your decisions are impacting on. And also for single people who are looking for a relationship, I'm seeing that you've had a long time to feel ready emotionally to actually step out and start dating or looking for people again. And now you're at the time where you are emotionally ready now at this time. So you're ready for someone to come into your life now. And yes, you went through this long stage emotionally after a past relationship, and yes, it took you some time to get to this stage. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get the words out. I'm not very good at the moment. I'm trying to concentrate with this roadworks going on. Yes, you're ready now. That's what I'm seeing. You're ready to go ahead and find someone to be with. That's all I'm trying to say. So yes, the last card you have, your present, is the Five of Pentacles. So this is about someone who used to be a lot closer to you, but you're not as close to this person anymore. They are a lot younger than you, but you forgot this person in some way, or you left them out of something. And maybe this is one of these people that was, being impacted by this plan you had. I don't know. It might be, it might not be. But this is someone who's a lot younger than you. You might not realize you've done this, but you've left this person out of something and you've hurt them. And I'm seeing this. This could even be a child that feels left out. I'm sorry if that is. That's really sad. But it's certainly someone who's younger than you. And, if this resonates, please talk to this person. They're very, very sensitive. They don't act like they're sensitive, but they are. But you need to talk to this person. You need to try and make up with this person because you really hurt them, and they might not say anything to you. The first card you have, your future, is the Eight of Pentacles. So yes, you're going to be building up something that you lost in the past. So I'm seeing that for people in a relationship, this is about relationships, but it's about money as well. It's about the two combined. So maybe you had a divorce or something, or maybe you're in some sort of long-term relationship where you lost some money or something like that, because it is the two combined. And, you're building that up again now. What you're doing is you're building up the relationship you're in now, and you're also building up the money again. You're building up your finances again. So there are some new money opportunities coming up to you, especially early in the new year, I'm seeing. But you'll be able to build up before that. You'll be able to start building that up now. And, your partner has been very, very understanding about this money situation. I'm seeing that. They might have even been supporting you financially for a while. the next card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. So again, this is what I'm seeing. Again, you're building up your money, and you're going to be doing this very, very carefully, because what I'm seeing is there was a decision that you made in your past where you lost a lot of money. That could be a divorce. I'm seeing that again, or some financial decision or some big risk you took and you lost a lot of money. So you used to be a lot less careful with money in that time, because you just had more of it. But now, you have a bit less money. I'm not saying you're destitute, but you have to be a lot more careful than you used to. That's what I'm seeing. You're more sensible anyway now. The last card you have in your future is the Six of Cups. So you're going to be connecting with this person who's actually younger than you in the Five of Pentacles. This is this person who you disappointed, and I'm seeing you reaching out to this person, and you're going to try and rebuild your relationship again, because it really does need rebuilding. You really did hurt this person, so I can see you patching things up, trying to fix things, and you will do that. This person will forgive you. They do love you deep down. They really do. They could be a relative, could even be your child. It's someone younger than you, and yes, this will go really well. You're just going to have a really quiet chat with them. You might be spending a lot more time with them just to make up to them. That's what I'm seeing.